For years, fans of Little People Big World knew Caryn Chandler as Matt Roloff's fiancée, and before that, the farm manager. But behind the public persona was a woman with her own family history, her own first marriage that had lasted 20 years, her own 2 adult children who had lived their own lives away from the cameras, her own grandchild who had been born during her relationship with Matt, her own family struggles that she had navigated privately, with the same restraint that has defined so much of her public presence. Tonight on LPBW Update, we are walking through the full story of Caryn Chandler's 2 adult children, Brittany and Caryn Chandler. The daughter who has been warmly embraced by the extended Roloff family, particularly by Tori Roloff. The son who has struggled publicly with addiction, legal issues, and a period of estrangement from his own mother. The grandson, Liam Joseph Chandler, who was born in August of 2021 and made Caryn officially a grandma for the first time. And the way Brittany and Caryn have handled their mother's very public relationship with Matt Roloff, its equally public breakup in July of 2025, and Caryn's subsequent move to Arizona. Because Caryn is not just Matt's ex-fiancée, she is a mother, she is a grandmother, she has her own family, and that family, in all its complexity, has been present in the background of the Roloff story for years. Let us start at the beginning. Caryn Chandler was born on October 1st, 1967. As a young woman, she met and married a man named Joseph Chandler. Their marriage lasted approximately 20 years. That is a significant length of time. That is not a young mistake that was quickly reversed. That is a full adult marriage that produced 2 children, established a household, and shaped the identities of everyone in the family. According to public records, Joseph Chandler filed for divorce from Caryn in 2012. The specifics of what led to the divorce have not been extensively publicized. What is known is that the divorce was not without contention. Joseph Chandler, according to reports from Radar Online, had a history of legal difficulties. Court documents reviewed by the outlet indicated that in 2009, Joseph was involved in an incident where he was found to have unlawfully and recklessly caused serious physical injury to a victim by means of a motor vehicle. He reached a settlement in that case. In 2013, after the divorce, he was in trouble for driving with a suspended license. Later, he was arrested for driving under the influence. He served jail time and probation. That is a difficult background for any spouse to deal with. Caryn dealt with it, presumably, for years before the marriage ended. Now, one of the specific stipulations in the Joseph and Caryn Chandler divorce agreement, according to court documents cited by Radar, was that neither parent could allow their children to be filmed for television without the consent of the other parent. That stipulation meant that when Caryn began appearing more prominently on Little People Big World, starting in 2017, her own children, Brittany and Caryn, could not be filmed alongside her. Joseph, according to reports, refused to give consent, so Brittany and Caryn stayed off camera. For years, fans who followed the show saw Caryn at family events, at pumpkin season, at travels with Matt, but her own children were completely absent from the visual narrative. That created a strange gap in fans' understanding of who Caryn actually was as a person. She was Matt's girlfriend, but her role as a mother was invisible. The kids grew up during those years. Brittany completed her education. She graduated from Oregon State University, or OSU. Caryn shared a September 2018 post on Instagram celebrating that summer, saying, "What a great summer it has been. Had both my kiddos home with me. Caryn got his first car. Britt graduated from OSU. Went on vacation with my parents to celebrate her graduation. Had fun traveling with Matt for his Little Lucy Big Race book tour. Lots of memories." That post was one of the first times fans got a glimpse of Brittany and Caryn as adults, though only through their mother's social media rather than through the show itself. Then, in May of 2019, something changed. Brittany and Caryn made their first appearance on Little People Big World during a season 19 episode. The episode showed Caryn bringing her kids to Roloff Farms for lunch with Matt. On the show, Caryn explained the significance of the moment. She said, "I wanted to bring my kids to the farm to have lunch with Matt. As we continue to get closer and plan a future together, it is really important to me for you to have a relationship with them, and I know they would like that as well." Matt, for his part, said something warm. He said, "Back when Brittany and Caryn were young, they used to come and help out during pumpkin season. That is a small detail that reveals something bigger. Brittany and Caryn had known Matt for over a decade. They had helped out at the farm as children when Caryn was working there professionally. They had a longer history with Matt than most people realized. They just had not been officially introduced on camera because of the divorce stipulation. Brittany, in the years since her debut on LPBW, has developed a genuinely warm relationship with the Roloff family. She has been particularly close with Tori Roloff, Zach Roloff's wife. Fans have watched Brittany interact with Tori through social media. When Tori posted an emotional Instagram post about her daughter Lila's dwarfism, Brittany was one of the people who commented supportively. She wrote, "Oh, Tori, I will be lucky to be half the mama that you are one day. Real and honest. I love you guys and those kiddos so dang much." That kind of warm, unguarded message from a stepsister-in-law is meaningful. It shows that Brittany and Tori had built a real bond, not just a superficial, family-adjacent connection. Tori and Brittany continue to interact throughout the years. Brittany has visited Roloff farms. She has attended family gatherings. She has been included in the extended Roloff family in ways that felt genuine. Brittany was also given the nickname Auntie Brit by Caryn's grandchild Liam, showing that the blended family bonds extended even to the youngest members. Caryn Chandler's story has been more complicated. He has struggled publicly with issues that have been documented in news reports and court records. In August of 2018, Caryn opened up on Facebook about his battle with drug addiction. He wrote, "My name is Caryn, and this is my story about how addiction almost took my life. I was 13 years old when I was first introduced to a drug called Xanax." He described the descent that followed. He said he realized at 15 he had a drug problem. He said he ended up going through 8 inpatient rehabs, 8 outpatient treatment centers, 2 group homes, 17 times in jail, 3 warrants, 12 hospital visits for overdose, and 4 friends' deaths from overdose before he finally got himself clean. That is a stunning statement. That is a level of struggle and recovery that most people cannot imagine. Caryn's addiction had almost killed him. He had watched friends die. He had spent years in cycles of using and trying to get clean. And by 2018, he had, in his own words, gotten himself clean. But Caryn's legal troubles did not end with his sobriety. In 2016 and 2017, he had been arrested for theft in the first degree, receiving probation and eventually an extension of that probation after missing a court hearing. And in January of 2020, Caryn was arrested for a much more serious matter. He was charged with 2 counts of harassment against his own mother, Caryn Chandler. Court papers stated that Caryn did unlawfully and intentionally harass or annoy his mother by subjecting her to offensive physical contact. That is a heartbreaking accusation. A son harassing his own mother in a way that resulted in an arrest and formal charges. Caryn was held on a $10,000 bond. He pleaded not guilty at his January 23rd arraignment. He was ordered to stay away from Caryn, her family, co-defendants, and witnesses. He was ordered to not go within 100 feet of Caryn's residence, work, vehicle, or person. That is the kind of restraining order that comes with the most serious harassment situations. Caryn, in that moment, was in the position of having to legally protect herself from her own son. Caryn's legal troubles continued through 2020. He was arrested again later that year when he failed to appear in court on the earlier charges. According to reports, he claimed he had been unaware of the court date change because mail had been sent to the wrong address. He continued to publicly maintain that he was clean of drugs and doing his best to rebuild his life. He was released on his own recognizance after various court appearances and given new court dates. The whole legal saga was documented extensively in tabloid coverage over the course of 2020, adding a difficult private layer to Caryn Chandler's public relationship with Matt Roloff. Then, in August of 2021, something unexpectedly beautiful happened. Caryn and his girlfriend Ashley welcomed a son, Liam Joseph Chandler. He arrived 2 weeks early. He weighed 6 pounds and 12 ounces. He was Caryn's first biological grandchild. Caryn announced the news on Instagram. She wrote, "I am a grandma. Sweet baby Liam Joseph Chandler arrived Sunday, August 22nd, 2 weeks early. A bouncing 6 pounds, 12 ounces of pure joy. My heart is bursting." Matt commented on the post with a warm message. "Congrats to mom and dad, and of course to you too, grandma," he wrote. Brittany, being an aunt for the first time, wrote, "Cutest grandma I know. Liam will adore you, mama. My nephew is perfect." Caryn responded to her daughter, "Oh, hi, Auntie Britt." That kind of tender family exchange, in the middle of what had been a very difficult period in Caryn's family life, was a bright spot. Whatever had happened between Caryn and Connor earlier that year, the arrival of Liam gave the family a reason to come back together. Connor and Ashley's relationship did not last. In November of 2022, Ashley filed for sole custody of Liam. Court documents obtained by the U.S. Sun describe Connor's alleged erratic and unsafe behavior, as well as anger issues, and what Ashley called narcissistic gaslighting behaviors. Connor fought for joint custody. He lost the case in February of 2024. That means as of 2024, Ashley has sole custody of their son, Liam. Connor's role in Liam's life is presumably determined by whatever visitation arrangement the courts have established. What that arrangement looks like is not fully public. Throughout all of these public struggles, Brittany Chandler has been a stabilizing presence in her mother's life. She has been the daughter who was available. She has been the daughter who supported the relationship with Matt. She has been the daughter who built her own bonds with the Roloff family. She has been the daughter who, in a March 2024 episode of LPBW, expressed to her mother her happiness about Caryn's engagement to Matt. Notably, in that same March 2024 episode, Caryn talked about Brittany being happy about the engagement, but did not mention Connor. Fans noticed the omission. It suggested that Caryn and Connor's relationship remained strained even years after the harassment charges. The mother-son bond, once broken by that difficult period, had not fully healed. When Matt and Caryn's engagement ended in July of 2025, both of Caryn's adult children were faced with a choice. What would their lives look like after their mother's public life with Matt was over? Brittany made the choice to move with Caryn to Arizona. That was a significant commitment. Brittany was in her 30s. She had her own adult life. Choosing to relocate to a different state with her mother suggests that Brittany prioritized being close to Caryn during this transition. Connor made a different choice. He stayed behind in Oregon. Given his complicated history with his mother and his ongoing legal and personal challenges, it may have been the right choice for him to maintain his existing life rather than uprooting to follow Caryn. But the split in the family is significant. Caryn, in her new Arizona life, has her daughter with her but not her son. What does the extended Chandler family look like in 2026? Caryn is in Arizona with Brittany. Connor is in Oregon, presumably still navigating the ongoing consequences of his legal issues and his complicated relationships. Liam, now 4 years old, lives with his mother Ashley, seeing his father Connor according to whatever custody arrangement is in place. Joseph Chandler, Caryn's ex-husband, is not publicly involved in her current life, though his continued existence in the family orbit shapes the dynamics his adult children navigate. It is, in every measurable way, a complicated family. It is not the polished, straightforward family that reality television usually shows. It is a real family, with real struggles, real recoveries, real distances, and real love. The Chandler family's relationship with the Roloff family, now that Matt and Caryn are no longer together, is also uncertain. Will Brittany continue her friendship with Tori Roloff? Will Liam continue to be part of the extended Roloff grandkid ecosystem? Will Matt continue to have any relationship with Caryn's children in the years ahead? None of these questions have clear answers yet. The dissolution of the Matt-Caryn engagement effectively broke the formal ties between the two families. Whatever connections continue will be personal choices by the individuals involved, not requirements of any relationship. What we can say is that Brittany and Connor Chandler, for all the years they were off camera and largely invisible to LPBW fans, are real people with real stories. Brittany has grown into a supportive, warm daughter and aunt who genuinely loves her mother and her extended family. Connor has struggled and, in his own way, has kept fighting to build a better life despite significant challenges. Both of them are Caryn's children, and both of them are part of what makes Caryn who she is. Understanding Caryn without understanding her role as their mother is incomplete. She is not just Matt Roloff's ex-fiancée. She is Brittany's mom. She is Connor's mom. She is Liam's grandma. She has been all of these things throughout her entire time on Little People, Big World. And in 2026, as she starts her new Arizona chapter, she carries all of these identities with her. For fans of the show, the Chandler family offers a specific kind of window into who Caryn really is. She is not just a woman who worked at Roloff Farms and eventually married Matt Roloff. She is a woman who was married for 20 years, who raised 2 children through difficult family dynamics, who watched her son struggle with life-threatening addiction and legal problems, who supported her daughter through college and adulthood, who became a first-time grandmother in 2021, and who, at 58, is starting over in Arizona with her daughter by her side. That is a full and complicated life, and it is a life that has been happening alongside the public Roloff story for years, mostly out of the spotlight. So I want to know what you think. Do you think Caryn's family will be a source of stability for her in her new Arizona chapter? Or is Connor's ongoing struggle still a burden that will follow her wherever she goes? Do you find Brittany Chandler's genuine warmth and connection to the Roloff family beautiful? Or do you think it will fade now that Caryn and Matt are no longer together? And do you think Connor Chandler will eventually rebuild his relationship with his mother? Or do you think the harassment charges and their difficult history are too much to overcome? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and I love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to LPBW Update, and ring the bell so you do not miss our weekly Roloff family stories. We are committed to bringing you the truth, the timeline, and the heart of every member of this remarkable family. I will see you on the next one.